I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills.
So I don't know if she's complaining or just stating.
Angel Reese faced heavy criticism from experts after her recent complaints about her WNBA salary not being enough to cover her rent. Apparently, she's struggling on her $73,000 salary, claiming it doesn't stretch far enough to pay for her extravagant $8,000 monthly rent, as if she's living paycheck to paycheck.
I am sympathetic to that, but yeah, sports needs villains. I don't have a problem with it. She makes the WNBA more interesting.
Reese, regarded as the league's most pampered player, appears to believe she deserves a salary increase, especially since it's been a while since she found herself in another scandal. And now, it looks like we're back to the same situation again.
Number one complaint this offseason in the WNBA would be the incessant whining about their minimum wage salaries. I mean, who could have possibly...
What exactly are you asking for more money for, Angel? You played less than 10 games this season, while Caitlin Clark put in the effort through 38. You're attracting a crowd of 7,000 fans per game.
I am sympathetic to that, but yeah, sports needs villains. I don't have a problem with it. She makes the WNBA more interesting.
And somehow, you expect to earn paychecks on the level of LeBron James? Let's be honest, it seems like you're more focused on your image than the game itself. Angel Reese, who calls herself the face of the WNBA, is acting as if life is incredibly unfair to her. She's making a WNBA salary of $73,439, but still has the audacity to complain that it doesn't cover her $8,000 monthly rent.
Now these complaints are coming from the star.
That's right. She's living in a place that costs $96,000 a year and then wonders why her finances don't make sense. I mean, how out of touch can you be? It's almost like she's forgotten basic math. Spending $8,000 a month isn't just rent. It's a lifestyle choice. The average person in Chicago, where rent is around $2,000, would be laughing in disbelief at these complaints. Most people can't afford to spend their entire paycheck on a luxury apartment and then complain about it. Yet here, we have Angel Reese playing the victim while the rest of the WNBA is out there hustling just to get by. The audacity is off the charts.
Hand pays them bills, baby. I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at.
Let's not even dive into her financial choices. With all the money she's making from endorsements, sponsorships, and her podcast, you'd think she would realize that renting an overpriced place isn't the smartest decision. But instead of making wise financial moves, like buying a house or investing, she seems to be spending money faster than most people can earn it. What's her plan exactly? Is she just waiting for a magic fairy to come and solve her problems?
I don't even know what salary. Does it really? You don't even... Yo! I'm living beyond my means! It's like...
It's both hilarious and sad at the same time. She's in a position to be a real role model for her fellow WNBA players, many of whom are genuinely struggling to make a decent living. They don't have million-dollar endorsement deals rolling in. They rely on their league salaries and are barely scraping by. Yet here's Reese complaining about rent as if she isn't surrounded by cash from every angle. It's insulting to everyone in the league who is truly fighting to stay afloat.
Complaint this offseason in the WNBA would be the incessant...
Now you have a rivalry here. Angel Reese wants to be Draymond Green, but there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball.
ESPN has finally laid out what's next for Angel Reese after her first season in the WNBA. And honestly, things aren't looking as promising as people might have expected. Or should I say her first tear-filled season? Now, before anyone thinks I'm being too critical, let's get one thing straight. Angel Reese is undeniably talented. There's no question about her skills on the court, but the ongoing drama, constant complaints, And leaning on the race card really overshadowed what could have been a stronger start. ESPN's analysts have broken down her performance, and their predictions for her future are pretty jaw-dropping. It may not have shocked me, but for those who haven't been paying close attention, it might be eye-opening. Now, let's not pretend Reese completely bombed her first season, because she didn't. She averaged 11.5 points and 9.2 rebounds per game, which sounds decent at first glance. But here's the thing, those stats don't tell the full story. Sure, she was putting up numbers, but there's a difference between just padding stats and actually making a real impact on the game.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing she should focus on is just finishing around the rim. That is something where maybe her rebounds will be halved. However, she will still make such an impact around the rim if she can.
The real concern with Reese is her shooting. You know, that whole putting the ball in the hoop part of basketball wasn't exactly her strong suit. She shot 39% from the field, which, for someone who plays close to the basket most of the time, is pretty disappointing, especially when you've got someone like Caitlin Clark casually hitting shots from miles away with better efficiency. Reese, on the other hand, was missing key shots. At least she had the chance to grab her own rebounds though, because nothing quite says oops like missing your own shot and then immediately collecting it again, right?
Angel Reese shot 39% from the field, and she took 90% of her shots from inside 8 feet.
Speaking of rebounds, let's be clear, Reese can rebound. She led all rookies with 9.2 per game, which sounds impressive until you realize a good chunk of those were off her own missed shots. It's like she was playing fetch with herself. Sure, she's doing something, but is it really making a difference for her team? Critics were quick to highlight that while her double-doubles looked great on paper, they didn't seem to have much of an impact on the game. More like padding her stats thanks to those missed shots. But hey, who's keeping track? Oh, right, ESPN.
The back with 20 rebounds, looking, pursuing. Once again, Reese with the tip, another chance. Reese trying to put it back.
And wow, did the analysts have a field day with the whole self-rebounding situation? It turned into this funny basketball meme. Angel Reese, queen of padding her own stats by cleaning up her own misses. Fans were hyping up her double-doubles, but the experts? They were raising eyebrows and asking, wait, how many of those rebounds were from her own missed shots? It's one of those things that sounds impressive until you take a closer look and see the mess beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out there casually racking up triple-doubles with so much efficiency, and in comparison, Reese's numbers start to feel a little empty. Her double-doubles weren't leading the team to victory, and they weren't winning the big games. When the pressure was really on and she needed to step up, she didn't. She struggled in those high-stakes moments, giving critics even more reason to question her future.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Another issue is her ratings and attendance. Angel Reese, always so confident both on and off the court, didn't just step into the WNBA, she strutted in, practically shouting that she was the reason people were watching. But reality had other ideas, and the numbers? Well, they paint a very different picture. When Reese was sidelined with a wrist injury, something unexpected happened. Attendance actually went up. Yep, you read that right. Fans were showing up in larger numbers while Reese was sitting on the bench, which, let's be honest, doesn't exactly scream, people are here for me, now does it?
WNBA has been around a couple of decades, and people didn't.
We also have talked, even on this channel, about Angel's very dramatic response to that. Angel Reese started with, I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words, knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person, which is interesting since she's been coached before.
It's pretty wild that even after facing a lawsuit over steroid allegations, Angel Reese still has the audacity to keep making headlines with her outrageous comments. And this time, she's taking shots at none other than her coach, Teresa Weatherspoon. If betrayal had a face, it would definitely look like Teresa's right now.
And unfortunately, it seems like, according to some new reports, that relationship cost her her job.
Chicago Sky officials are saying Teresa was suspended because the team's performance wasn't up to par. But wait a second, Angel is out here dropping some serious tea, claiming that's not the full story.
Point being, she disrespected the official. That was the official response to this.
So why is Angel doing this? Are her claims actually legit? Or is this just another dramatic turn in the ongoing Angel Reese saga? Let's break it down from the beginning because things are getting messy. Ever since then, the internet has been blowing up, and it's all because of Angel Reese.
Now you have a rivalry here. Angel Reese wants to be Draymond Green, but there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball.
Once hyped as the next big star in the WNBA, Angel is now caught in the middle of a scandal so wild, it's shaking up the entire league. After months of rumors, the truth finally came to light. Reese allegedly turned to performance-enhancing drugs in a desperate attempt to stay relevant. When you can't keep up with the talent in the league, what do? Yeah, apparently, you turn to steroids to close that gap.
Angel Reese is the villain, Caitlin Clark is the hero, and Angel Reese continued to play into it last night by getting ejected, and it's almost like it's all scripted. This is perfect for the WNBA. She's all the talk. She's the one standing up there in front of reporters saying, I need all of you guys to realize there's two of us that changed the game of women's basketball, and it's not just Caitlin Clark. I was a part of that 2 years ago in the national championship game, and it's going to continue to be that way from here on out. I kind of love it. I don't agree with her. It's way more Caitlin Clark than it is Angel Reese.
Then, boom, news breaks that Reese tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, and the entire WNBA world went into a frenzy. The Chicago Sky, her team at the time, didn't waste a second suspending her while they launched an investigation. But honestly, we all knew where this was going.
Her job. And I don't doubt it, because anybody who's watching could see that what was going on with Chicago and with Angel Reese and the double-double streak and all that stuff wasn't good for Angel, wasn't good for the rest of the team, wasn't good for the whole organization.
The moment those test results came back, Reese's career nosedived faster than her fourth quarter shooting percentage. Her public image was already hanging by a thread, but this, it completely shattered it. The Sky cut her loose, and fans, the league, everyone were left stunned, picking their jaws up off the floor.
WNBA has been around a couple of decades, and people didn't notice the game. They're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese.
The drugs Reese allegedly used weren't your everyday vitamins. Nope, she supposedly went for EPO, or erythropoietin, a powerful performance enhancer that boosts stamina and endurance by increasing red blood cell production. It's the kind of stuff cyclists and marathon runners use to push their bodies to superhuman levels. On top of that, she reportedly dabbled in anabolic steroids, which help build muscle faster than you can say bad decision. Both of these substances are strictly banned under WADA regulations, and the WNBA, they don't mess around with this kind of thing. Athletes caught using these banned substances usually face a harsh reality: suspensions, public humiliation, and a huge question mark hanging over the rest of their career.
The addiction is real, the addiction to attention.
Angel Reese eventually found herself in serious trouble, facing a lawsuit from the Chicago Sky for using steroids. It seems the team had more up their sleeve than just taking jabs at Caitlin Clark. They're dealing with bigger issues now. But really, Angel, steroids? It's like if there's a questionable move to be made, she's all in. Apparently, just playing the game the right way hasn't been cutting it for her.
The addiction is real. The addiction to attention is real.
Now, she's turning to drugs, because apparently playing real basketball in the WNBA is just too tough, especially when you're afraid of the competition. Let's be honest, this all boils down to her jealousy of rookie sensation Caitlin Clark. Reese just couldn't handle being overshadowed, so naturally, steroids seemed like the solution to her. But this time, she's not getting off so easily. Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed queen of the WNBA, has been caught up in drama from the start. And now, with this steroid scandal, it's turned into a full-blown soap opera. The Chicago Sky decided to skip the usual warnings and went straight to filing a lawsuit. Rumor has it, they've officially accused Reese of cheating her way to the top.
She got terminated today from the Chicago Sky.
This kind of move is completely unheard of in the WNBA. No team has ever been this bold, this over the top. We're talking about a full-blown legal smackdown, accusing Angel of juicing her way through the season, especially when things got intense during key matchups. And if you think this is some wild conspiracy theory, think again. The Chicago Sky's lawsuit reads like a sports drama miniseries. They're saying Reese cheated, and because of it, they missed the playoffs. They're not holding back. They're flat out claiming she used her enhanced abilities to sabotage their shot at playoff glory.
You're not coming in and dominating our game.
Here's where things get interesting. Rumor has it that Reese, realizing she wasn't going to dominate the WNBA like she did in college, decided to take a shortcut, and allegedly, that shortcut was steroids. The timing? A bit too convenient. The allegations suggest Reese turned to steroids right when it became clear that pure talent wasn't enough to keep her on top. And who was the constant thorn in her side, outshining her at every opportunity? None other than Caitlin Clark, the Iowa star who was stealing the spotlight without a trace of controversy.
I think Angel Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark. She thinks she's, the reason why this is all happening here.
While Reese was grappling with inconsistency and facing criticism, Clark was out there effortlessly breaking records. Clark didn't just set the WNBA rookie scoring record in 2024. She obliterated it, finishing the season with 761 points. No drama, no scandals, just solid hard work and talent. Every time Clark lit up the scoreboard, Reese's struggles became even more apparent. Social media had a field day, tearing Reese apart with constant comparisons between her and Clark. Let's just say those comparisons didn't do Reese any favors, as it became clear to everyone that she was more talk than game.
She just likes to call out haters and clap back at haters and say different things.
Let's be honest, this scandal doesn't just affect Angel Reese, it casts a significant shadow over the entire WNBA. The league has been working hard to expand its fan base and prove it can compete on a larger scale. However, with this steroid revelation, the league's reputation is now at stake. If the lawsuit goes in the Sky's favor, the WNBA will face a serious need for damage control to maintain the trust of both fans and sponsors.
You're not coming in and dominating our game.
But why did she feel the need to resort to this? The WNBA isn't college basketball. In the pros, the competition is much tougher, and the athletes are seasoned professionals. Reese quickly discovered that it's a whole different ballgame. While her rookie season wasn't bad by typical standards, she wasn't aiming for average. There were moments when she looked like the unstoppable powerhouse everyone expected her to be, but then she would follow those performances with disappointing outings. In her first 10 games of the 2024 season, she scored under 10 points 5 times. That's not the kind of stat line that silences critics. When expectations are sky high and you don't meet them, people start talking, and not in a good way. And that's when the steroid rumors began to surface.
But there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to...
The portrayal of black women in the league is an ongoing conversation. Many, including Aja Wilson, Angel Reese, Cheryl Swoops, and others, seem to view Caitlin Clark as a major issue in the WNBA, at least according to the league discussions. But is this truly the case? Or could it be more about rivalry and resentment? Some recent developments might make us rethink the situation. Last week, Aja Wilson brought up the topic of white privilege while speaking with Kelsey Plum. Now, Wilson and Angel Reese are both featured on the cover of the Wall Street Journal's magazine. Yet surprisingly, there's no mention of Caitlin Clark. In 2024, with all that's happening, isn't it worth exploring this from Caitlin Clark's perspective too? Imagine this. Even if you're the first rookie since 2008 to make the WNBA's first team, break over 50 records in one season, and win Rookie of the Year, you're still not acknowledged in one of the league's largest media spreads to date. This seems puzzling, especially if Clark's success is arguably central to the article's theme. The situation is further complicated by online tensions. Caitlin Clark is often cast in a negative light, made to seem difficult and unlikable, even while dealing with online harassment from an account managed by Aja Wilson's friend. And yet, both Wilson and Reese continue to fuel controversy, even accusing each other of unfair treatment and, at times, directing this frustration toward Caitlin Clark. This leaves us wondering, is this really the behavior we expect from an MVP or Rookie of the Year? This situation honestly feels like a case of bullying. It's the peak of first world issues, showing a lack of responsibility and, frankly, Angel Reese's lack of consideration. Watching this unfold is mind-boggling. You're right, it's easy to see how she comes across if you have even a bit of self-awareness. Honestly, if I were another WNBA player without Caitlin Clark's visibility, she wouldn't be my concern. She isn't the problem here. More people are starting to catch on. Caitlin Clark was never the issue. Her critics were the ones using her name for attention whenever things didn't go their way. Those same athletes, analysts, and experts quickly make noise when they feel slighted, then claim Caitlin Clark is the root of it all. But here's the truth. The issue might actually be Angel and Aja, not Caitlin. It's worth asking, who's really harming the league's reputation? Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark? Because, once again, it's Reese's unlikability that seems to be hurting the league's image. Caitlin, on the other hand, is generally well-liked and doesn't flaunt privilege or entitlement as if she's something special. People from all backgrounds are beginning to notice this. You made a great point. Caitlin Clark is helping drive the league's success and bring in money, while Angel Reese's behavior might be doing the opposite. The WNBA doesn't seem to be catching on, but the fans certainly are. Yet, we're still being told to embrace both Angel and Aja as league icons. But do they even realize who they're trying to promote? I get it. Aja Wilson is undoubtedly one of the greatest players, a true icon who will likely be in the Hall of Fame. Her stats alone speak to her greatness, and that's worthy of respect. But as I look deeper into this and see more of her behavior, I can't ignore a hard truth. She's becoming more and more on. Caitlin Clark's reaction to Sabrina Ionescu's game-winning shot in the WNBA Finals was anything but chill. Sabrina's three-pointer gave the Liberty a huge 80-77 win, and while the world was hyped, Caitlin was visibly frustrated. Her season ended way earlier, and seeing her biggest rival take over in the spotlight hit different. Caitlin's always been that player everyone watches, but this time, it's Sabrina stealing the show, and you could sense that jealousy. The rivalry between these two has been bubbling under the surface for a while, but this game just cranked up the tension. Caitlin came into the league with the hype, the fan base, and the expectation to dominate. Sabrina, however, has been quietly making her case, and now she's got everyone's attention. For Caitlin, sitting on the sidelines while Sabrina hits clutch shots and leads her team is a tough pill to swallow. Post-game, Caitlin didn't exactly hide how she felt. In interviews, she brushed off Sabrina's performance, calling the game winner just one shot, which only made it clear how much that moment bothered her. The jealousy was right there for everyone to see. Caitlin's used to being the star, and seeing Sabrina take her spot as the WNBA's current queen? Yeah, that's not sitting well at all. This isn't just about Sabrina's one play though. The rivalry between these two runs deep, going back to their college days when both were dominating the game. Now, as pros, it's become a battle for the top spot. Caitlin had the spotlight coming into the league, but Sabrina is stealing the shine when it counts. That game winner wasn't just a clutch moment, it was a power move, showing that Sabrina can take over when it matters most. Caitlin's frustration is understandable. She's a competitor to her core, and seeing her biggest rival have her moment while she watches from the sidelines, that's fuel for the fire. But you can tell she's struggling with the fact that right now, the spotlight is firmly on Sabrina. That frustration and envy are driving Caitlyn, and the tension between them is only getting thicker. Sabrina, on the other hand, is living for these moments. Her ability to deliver under pressure is what's setting her apart right now. Even though she struggled earlier in the game, finishing with just 13 points, she hit the shot that mattered most. And that's the kind of thing that elevates a player from good to legendary. While Caitlyn watches, Sabrina's out there writing her own story, and you know that's eating Caitlyn alive. Next season, this rivalry is going to reach another level. Caitlyn's not going to let Sabrina keep this momentum without a fight. You can bet she's using all this jealousy and frustration as motivation to come back stronger. The next time they meet on the court, it's going to be electric. The tension is there, the stakes are higher, and Caitlyn's got something to prove. But right now, this is Sabrina's moment. She's earned the spotlight with that game winner. And for now, she's the one everyone's talking about. Caitlyn, on the other hand, is left stewing in the envy, knowing she'll have to wait for her chance to take back the crown. This rivalry is only getting started, and the next chapter is going to be must-watch basketball. The battle for the WNBA. Caitlyn Clark presented in Europe after record-breaking WNBA season.
From the sounds of this interview, it seems like she's probably going to make more money overseas in EuroLeague than she did during this WNBA season. The commissioner told her that she could make $700,000 playing in the WNBA.
The EuroLeague just made it official. Caitlyn Clark is heading overseas, and now the WNBA is buzzing over the contract details. It's clear that while Clark is about to make waves in Europe, Kathy Engelbert and the WNBA execs are probably sweating it out. Without Clark, they're likely heading back to that familiar spot of irrelevance they were stuck in before she came along and gave people a reason to tune in. Let's be honest, most are only watching because of Caitlyn Clark, and once she's gone, it's hard to see anyone sticking around for those average teams.
Now, I feel like there could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlyn Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games in the Big Three. So the money is there, and if these owners are smart with it, I could definitely see more WNBA players going overseas.
The WNBA pretty much shot themselves in the foot with a series of bad decisions and some race-baiting drama that cost them their star player. They lost their golden opportunity. But let's not dwell on their mistakes. Caitlyn Clark's new adventure is where the real excitement lies now.
Going overseas and possibly not returning.
I totally understand that some of you hardcore Caitlyn Clark fans in America might be feeling a little down about her moving to Europe. But let's face it, you want her to be happy, right? That's why you're staying quiet about it. Deep down, as long as Clark is doing well, you're okay with it. And don't worry, Clark cares about you just as much. In fact, I have a little surprise from her that's going to make you really happy. So stick around for that. For now, let's dive into what's really happening with this EuroLeague deal.
Unfair what the players are paid.
So, the big boss of EuroLeague women has finally put all the speculation to rest. Caitlyn Clark is officially getting ready to head to Europe. And no, this isn't just a temporary gig while the WNBA takes a short break. This is a major move. We're talking about EuroLeague Women, which is technically the top competition for women's basketball in Europe. Yet somehow, it still doesn't get the recognition it deserves. It's like this hidden gem in the basketball world, and people are still overlooking it.
If you look at his rookie salary, which was around $55 million for 4 years, and then you look at Caitlyn Clark's $300 and I think it was $38,000 salary that she signed for 4 years, that is about the same amount more. It's around 162 times more that Victor made.
For those who may not be aware, EuroLeague Women is managed by FIBA Europe, and believe me, it's where some of the most intense basketball takes place. This isn't just a casual summer league. The EuroLeague runs from October to April. That's ideal for Clark to keep her basketball skills sharp throughout the year. She's really positioning herself to excel on both sides of the Atlantic. It's like she's playing chess while everyone else is still figuring out checkers.
They always sold out. It's unbelievable. So Atlanta would normally have 3,000, 4,000 people. Now they have 17,000 people, and they sold 1,000 standing room only tickets. So when we walked into the arena, people were on that third balcony looking down at the tops of our players' heads to watch. It's really hard to take in.
And here's something interesting. EuroLeague Women has been around since 1958. That's right, longer than most of us have been alive. It's like the original league for women's basketball, even getting a rebranding in the 90s. Yet, for some reason, it hasn't achieved the same commercial success as the WNBA. But don't be fooled. This league is serious business. It has stood the test of time for a... Caitlin Clark's transition from the US to Europe is creating quite a buzz in the basketball world. Her choice to sign a lifetime contract with a European club has fans curious about what motivated such a bold decision, especially after her impressive rookie season. From deep three-pointers to record-breaking assists, Caitlin quickly emerged as a star in the WNBA. However, her journey in the league wasn't as smooth as it seemed. In interviews, Clark opened up about the challenges she faced both on and off the court. One of the toughest parts of her life as a professional athlete was the pressure to always be on. She mentioned that there are days when she simply doesn't want to engage with anyone. When someone comes up to you, that's their 10-second interaction with you. So you smile and try to be kind, but sometimes you just want to be normal, she shared. Caitlin's rookie season was physically demanding. She faced aggressive defense and often felt like she was targeted by opponents pushing the limits of fair play. Hard fouls and elbows became all too common, yet she kept her composure, accumulating assists and points while setting records despite the relentless pressure. Additionally, as a young white player in a predominantly black league, Clark encountered subtle but uncomfortable moments from both fans and fellow players. These factors weighed heavily on her and played a role in her decision to seek new opportunities overseas. In Europe, she saw not only a fresh start, but also a chance for personal and professional growth. Playing in a different league would provide new challenges without the constant scrutiny she experienced in the US media. While some critics argue that Clark's move might be premature, others view it as a calculated decision to prioritize her passion for the game without the distractions she faced at home. As Caitlin embarks on this new chapter, she leaves behind a complex legacy in the WNBA. Her talent and determination are undeniable. What are your thoughts on this?
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Caitlin Clark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
You know that feeling when your favorite show ends and you're left wondering what to do with yourself? That's exactly how Caitlin Clark fans felt once basketball season wrapped up. But don't worry, Clark's got a solution so unexpected, it might just work. Let's be honest, without Caitlin Clark, most basketball games are a bit of a snooze fest, and the offseason, it's brutal. Fans are stuck waiting, hungry for any news about their favorite players. And when it comes to Caitlin, the rumor mill has been in overdrive. Will she stay in the US? Head to Europe? Take up competitive knitting? Pickleball, maybe? The fake news machine has been cranking out so much nonsense that some outlets have even started throwing around steroid rumors for every WNBA player they can think of.
You say to yourself, damn, what is going on here?
Here's the deal. Clark's got something up her sleeve that no one saw coming. It's not just about staying in the spotlight. It's about changing the game, or maybe even multiple games. We're talking career-defining, fan-shocking, women's sports revolutionizing moves here. And honestly, can you blame her for wanting to shake things up? This decision isn't just about Clark. It's about setting a new standard for athlete influence and expanding appeal across different sports.
Caitlin, they said on the broadcast tonight that you were not going to play overseas. You were going to take some time. Can you just tell us a little bit more about that decision?
You might think you've got Caitlin Clark's next move figured out, but get ready to have those assumptions completely shattered. What if I told you her latest plan involves swapping out her basketball sneakers for a pair of golf spikes?
I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna do the next day. So maybe play some golf. I think that's what I'm gonna do until it gets too cold in Indiana. So I got that. I'll become a professional golfer.
Not too much, babe.
Yeah.
Just wait, keep it basketball.
Clark's shocking announcement has left fans in disbelief after weeks of speculation about her off-season plans. She's made a choice that no one expected. The basketball phenom is now focusing on the golf course, and not just for a casual round here and there. Here's where it gets really interesting. Clark isn't just playing for fun. She's joining the LPGA's Annika Pro-Am event at Pelican Golf Club in Florida. That's right, she'll be teeing off alongside golfing legend Annika Sorenstam. Talk about a power move.
WNBA Rookie of the Year set to compete in a Pro-Am golf event next month. The Indiana Fever superstar will appear at the Annika, which is the next to last tournament on the LPGA Tour from November 11th through the 17th. She will also play in the Pro-Am event on November 13th.
You might be asking where this all came from. Well, it turns out Clark's athletic abilities go beyond just the basketball court. She has a diverse sports background that's been flying under the radar. Remember when she played soccer as a kid? That's where she developed the explosive power behind her jump shot. It's almost as if she's been secretly preparing for this moment all along. But golf? That's a whole different game. Or is it?
I remember getting my first set of golf clubs for one of my birthdays when I was really young. My dad got it for me. It was an all pink bag, all pink clubs, and my dad would always take me when we were younger. I probably started playing golf when I was like 3rd or 4th grade. I mean, I was terrible. I couldn't hit it off the ground.
A viral video of Clark almost scoring a hole-in-one has been making the rounds. And trust me, it's impressive. The way she celebrated after sinking that birdie was pure Clark. That competitive fire we've seen on the court is just as intense on the green. Really excited about this new challenge. In her own words, she said, "I love golf. So the chance to play in the Pro-Am for a tournament with a legend like Annika Sorenstam's name on it is incredibly thrilling. You can practically feel her enthusiasm shining through."
Is this like we're good? We're gonna call it a birdie?
I don't think so.
Oh!
Yes!
That's huge. Great birdie.
Woo!
Let's be honest, this move isn't just about Clark's passion for golf. It's a strategic play to remain in the spotlight and keep fans engaged during the off-season. While other players are starting podcasts, Clark is out there expanding her brand and pushing her limits. Remember the John Deere Classic Pro-Am? Clark drew massive crowds and received praise from professional golfers for her performance and character. She's not just participating in these events. She's making waves and turning heads. This shift to golf isn't solely about personal growth or staying relevant. Clark isn't satisfied with just being a basketball star. She's aiming to become a sports icon, plain and simple.